Are there any more guitar stands?
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, I will let them know.
We have new people with us today.
You need?
Hi,
Oh, there's one over here. Do you,
There's
good
one
to
back
see you in
there.
person, definitely, yeah. Nice
Yeah.
to see
Is
you.
there another one?
Hi, your
How you can make it
microphone's
down?
on.
here you go.
Oh, thank you.
You signed in?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Just discussing chocolate bobby cake and how it's hard to find.
Oh, good to see you. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
I'm gonna go grab one in the back. Should I just put it on here? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a stand that works?
Yes, I think so.
You're okay?
I'm gonna go grab one.
Oh, okay. There should be another one down over here. Yep, down there, I think. Is there? Yep. There you go. If Pam starts playing guitar, I might be getting more stands.
That's true. It's a good investment.
Yeah. Do you prefer these like long necked ones or like those like lower ones?
I prefer the lower ones, but I really don't care.
Okay. I was
No
curious.
big deal. There are less things to maneuver. And I'm not very maneuverable. But Morty did not know how to bow. You need this?
Oh yeah, whenever you're done. Thank you.
Nobody call out the basketball score. Are you a basketball fan?
Not really. My roommate is watching
Yeah.
it now or whenever.
She's here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, I'm sure, are going to Milwaukee. It's so close.
Right.
When they played Milwaukee, I don't know, 2015, 14, myself and my sons went to the game.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it wasn't the Fiserv Center then. It was what they called the Bradley Center. It was wild. It was
Really?
really fun. It was so loud. God,
I'm sure.
I'm sure my hard of hearing this came back then. Yeah.
Is it the rain that keeps you going?
Well, it might be the basketball game.
Basketball game.
The UW are playing in the NCAA tournament. It starts at
Right this second?
well, it doesn't start till 8:50. So depending where you live, and you could, or do you tape it? I'm gonna tape it.
Maybe people rush
It'll be
out
hard to
here.
stay off the radio on the way home.
Yeah.
Temptation of going on and
Right.
yeah,
Don't do it.
you got to do it.
No,
Don't do
don't
it.
do it.
All right. Yell at me right when I'm leaving. Says,
Okay.
"Just keep the radio off."
I'll ask you on Sunday if you cheated.
Is there anybody out there?
A couple people, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just kind of chatting.
There was a program through which seminary students could theater in the former Soviet Union. Not only Ukraine, some other places as well. But the circumstances in my own personal life being able to do so. I always wondered.
I think that's Les's pick.
I was trying to figure out, is it play on the Dalet? Or something?
Oh, it's. Oh, I like that.
Or
That's
could it be the
cool.
mem? I don't know.
That's cool. I never made that connection.
I guess it could be a tet, right? That's like
Yeah.
closest to a tet.
Or maybe that's just a yud by itself.
Just the yud right there, and then a musical note. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just found this one in that little corner with all the pencils.
You forgot your own pick.
My guitar is.
Is that one
really, really
too heavy
broken.
for you? I usually use this kind of pick for strumming.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
I
like
think
my
this one's
favorite.
fine. I've been using
Oh, okay.
it for a little bit. Yeah, my guitar should be fixed by tomorrow because it was really broken. So.
I thought you said you just found that pick somewhere.
Oh, I just use it whenever I don't have a guitar. I just keep it back there.
Okay. That's fun. That's funny. Hey. Hey. I haven't seen you guys before.
Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Hi, I'm Lindsay. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lauren. Hi.
office. You don't have to get all I need you to just put what you are. Just in case everybody tests positive. I haven't met you. I'm Vivian.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Me too.
That's all I do.
That's all we need,
That's
right?
right, yeah. If the temple has your
Oh, okay.
I can vouch for it.
yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Are we ready, Steve? Yes. So it's great to have you all here. It's wonderful to have you online. There you are. Great to have you online. And we are here together as a community celebrating Shabbat with beautiful music. What a better way to be here. Just a few brief announcements and notes. For those of you joining us online, please remember that the video description holds 3 important links. First, there's a link to our prayer book. Secondly, there's a link to the supplement for tonight, where there's words and music that we will be offering as part of our worship during Shabbat Midor, Lador, our musical service for the whole temple family. And there's also a link to tonight's program with announcements and Kaddish names and other important things for us. For those of us in the sanctuary, hope you have a prayer book and hope you have the same program to take home with you and a supplement for all the great music we will sing. But now the time is just for us to be together. The time for us is to welcome Shabbat into our community. Here in our sanctuary, we have some new people in town, so we're so glad to welcome you all here. Thank you for being here and being part of this worship community tonight. And it's our opportunity just to be with one another and to offer music for the soul, offer music for the Shabbat.
And we start without even needing any words, just a melody for this time of gathering and shedding that which we've been bringing, maybe carrying with us this week. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Sometimes after a long week of work and school and activities and the pressures of the world that sometimes feel real heavy, sometimes it's important for us to pause and think about what are the moments of holiness that we search for. What are those moments of special connection that we look for when we see individuals? We look them in the face, we look them in the eye, and we think to ourselves, if we could connect with that one other person, if we could connect with that one other individual across the room or across the counter or across even the desk that we have in our places of work or at home, if there's one other person that we can connect with, how would we make that encounter special? Our encounter with Shabbat is special in that way, and perhaps we can take lessons from that. Because we sit and we relax on Shabbat. We enjoy this day, and we simply have the ability to be, and when we have that ability to be, then we can make a relationship with someone who similarly has holiness in their life, and someone who can make our lives holy as well. We had just finished celebrating Purim here, and so we're going to tonight have a nod to some Purim activities. In fact, today on Friday, a day that's just about officially ending, we celebrate Shushan Purim, a holiday of Purim which is celebrated inside cities that are walled. If you live in a walled city, today was your day of Purim. Yesterday, of course, was Purim for most of the rest
Everywhere else.
Everywhere else, right. So I want to invite you to turn to the supplement, and on page 3 in the supplement, we are enjoying Haman. And if you want to boo with Haman, boo fast, because the lyrics go fast.
So, friends, as we have just finished celebrating Purim, there are Purim songs that we might know better, some that we might not know quite so well, and some that we might know but that we can hear in a different way. There is a song that's associated with Purim called Utsu Eitzah. It's also on that page 3 of your supplement. And if you just look at the words, it sort of makes sense why it might be connected to Purim, but not exactly. It's a quote from the prophet Isaiah. Rabbi, I don't have the translation in front of me. Would you?
So the translation is devise and scheme and plot your plan, but take it from me, you've got no chance because we have love on our side.
Or even more literally in the Hebrew, we have God is
on our side. Right.
God is with us. And so there's a midrash, a story about Mordechai, that when Mordechai first heard the news that the king had agreed to Haman's plan to destroy all of the Jews, that Mordecai was, I just said Morty, oh my gosh, that Mordecai was very distressed.
You're very familiar with him.
I know, it's almost like we were just saying that. So Mordecai was very distressed, and he kind of ran out of the palace, and Haman went and followed him. And when Mordecai was running out of the palace, he came across 3 children who had just finished their lessons for that day, and he asked them to tell him what they had been studying. And they each cited a verse. One of them was from
two of them actually were from the book of Proverbs, and one of them was from this book of Isaiah. Make your plan, speak a word, it doesn't matter. Those plans will fail because God is with us. And Mordecai started to laugh, and he took it as a sign that Haman's plans would not be successful. And so we're going to learn a little bit of a tune here. I want to actually teach it to everyone now, and then we're going to sing it again at the very end of the service. And the band will help as we're learning it all together. So the text is Utsu Eitza Vitufar. Let's try that. Listen first. Utsu Eitza Vitufar. Try that. Utsu Eitza Vitufar. Next part. Dabru, dabru, davar. Dabru, dabru, davar. Same thing. Utsu Eitza Vitufar. Dabru, dabru, davar. Then it goes like this. Veloyaku, imanu, try that. Veloyaku, imanu, el, 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 oh, el, 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 oh. And it's going to repeat, but when it repeats, it'll say el, 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 oh. Try that with me. El, 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 oh. We're going to try the whole thing now, all parts. Utsu, eitza, vitufar, dabru, dabru, davar. Utsu, eitza, vitufar, dabru, dabru, davar. Lo yaku, imanu. In English goes like this. Devise and scheme and plot your plan. Try that. Devise and scheme and plot your plan. Next part goes like this. Take it from me. You got no chance. Try that. Take it from me. You got no chance. 'Cause we've got love on our side. Try that with me. We've got love on our side. Sing it again. We've got love. We've got love on our side. One more time. We've got love on our side. Once more. We've got love on our side. And now a traditional folk melody of the same text. Utsu eitza vitufar. Try that. Dabru davar velo yakum, dabru davar velo yakum. Utsu eitza vitufar, dabru davar velo yakum. Emmanuel. We have to try that. That's a little bit long. Let's try it. Utsu eitza vitufar, dabru davar velo yakum. Emmanuel. Now this part might be a little bit less familiar, but you might have heard it before. It's part of the same folk tune. It goes like this. Utsu eitza vitufar. Try that. Utsu eitza vitufar. Dabru davar velo yakum. Dabru davar velo yakum. Utsu eitza vitufar. Dabru davar velo yakum. Emmanuel, Utsu eitza vitufar, dabru davar velo yakum. Emmanuel, Utsu eitza vitufar, dabru davar. Utsu eitza vitufar, dabru davar velo yakum. Emmanuel, El, El, oh. about your plans. Take it from me, got no chance. We've got love on our side. 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 That was some good learning and singing, friends.
I think it was too. I want to invite everyone to turn to page 4 of the supplements. We want to also welcome Shabbat with candles with light. Light and warmth we need on this day, certainly. Light of knowledge, the light of confidence, and the warmth, because it's cold here in Madison. So we are warmed by the light of the candles. We are thankful for the light that God provides. And we offer this meditation and then the bracha. Loving God, with a full heart, we thank you for the blessing of the week which has passed and for the strength which you granted us to overcome our difficulties. We ask your blessings for the week that lies ahead. Grant health and contentment to our loved ones and friends. Help us strengthen each other with gentle words and acts of kindness. Bestow blessings on all your children. May we enter the Shabbat in peace, in purity, and in radiant joy. Again, page 4 of the supplement.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher hinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadiktem v'tzivanu v'tzivanu v'hadiktem shel Shabbat shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the light of Shabbat, of Shabbat.
On page 128 of the prayer book, 128 of the Siddur.
We have this poem at the bottom of the page, and you'll forgive me if I tune a little bit while I talk about this, because we have offered this prayer, this text in this congregation previously, but we may not have drawn connections to it that I think are very poignant, particularly in the time that we're living in. People might not necessarily know that, or might know actually, that at the turn of the 20th century, one of the major hubs of cultural creativity and intellectual creativity was in Odessa, in what was then the Russian Empire and is now the modern Ukraine. And at that time, there was also a Jewish enlightenment that was occurring, and one of the more famous poets who kind of came up through the Jewish Enlightenment movement in Odessa was Chaim Nachman Bialik, who would spend part of his early life and early adulthood in Odessa and would eventually emigrate to what was then Palestine and then later the state of Israel, and is still considered today by Israel to be one of their greatest Hebrew poets who ever lived. At the same time that Bialik was in Odessa, there was also music creativity bursting out of the seams, both in the secular music world and in the sacred music world. And cantor Pinchas Minkowski was the chazan, the cantor at the Brodsky Synagogue in Odessa, and he took Chaim Nachman Bialik's poem Shabbat HaMalkah, a beautiful love letter to Shabbat, talking about seeing the sun coming down below the treetops and praying for peace to abide among us and for welcoming angels of peace and rest. And so we're going to offer this setting. Some of you might know it, but you may not have known its deep connection to the Ukrainian Jewish community what was then the Russian Empire, and I'm not sure that I'm actually fully in tune. Would somebody on capo 2 play a C chord for me? Is that a, could you, oh, okay, that'll work too. That's the one. All right. Hachamame Rosh. Hachamame Rosh. Ha'ilanot nistalka. Let's try that together. Hachamame Rosh. Ha'ilanot nistalka. Bo'u v'neitzei לקראת שבת המלכה, הנה היא יורדת הקדושה הברוכה, ועם המלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה. בואי בואי המלכה, בואי בואי הכלה, שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום. The sign on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace.
This image of the Sabbath Queen is something that has been part of our culture and our heritage for more than 100 years, more than 400 years, really, because the mystics of Tzvat would sing Lecha Dodi as they welcomed the Shabbat when the sun sank in the west, and they would wear all white and go out into the field and invite Shabbat into their hearts and in their homes. And every Shabbat, regardless of what else we offer, we try to offer Lecha Dodi as our formal welcome of Shabbat here. It's on page 138 of the prayer book, and 1 and 5 and 8 and 9. No, just 1, 5, and 9. 1, 5, and 9 tonight. And you'll find that the last stanza on verse 9, we rise and face the open doors as a way of hoping that Shabbat will then come into even this very sanctuary. At this time, we welcome Shabbat. Page 138, Lecha Dodi. Verse, right. The weather. It's the weather.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Shamor v'zachor v'ribur echad ishmiyanu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad תפארת ולילה לך אדוני לקראת עלה בני שבת תקבלה לך אדוני לקראת עלה בני שבת תקבלה
Verse 5.
התעוררי כי בעבודך קומי אורי אורי כי דברי כבוד אדוני עלי תחילה לך אדוני לקראת עלה בני שבת תקבלה לך אדוני לקראת עלה בני שבת תקבלה אורי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה אוי חלה איך אדוני לקראת עלה בני שבת תקבלה איך אדוני לקראת עלה בני שבת תקבלה בני שבת
It was Martin Buber, the philosopher of the 20th century, who said that when two people have a sanctified relationship happening, God happens, God appears somewhere in between them. And so when God appears in our lives and we think, oh my goodness, we have a sense of the holiness around us, what do? We are inspired to praise God because God is with us at those times. And God is likely with us at other times too we may not know. But certainly when we imbue moments with holiness, or when holiness happens to us simply because it does, then we thank God and we offer gratitude for those moments. Our service of Ma'ariv, the evening service proper, begins on page 148 in the prayer book. We invite everyone to rise for Baruch Hu.
Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Night becomes what we have, and day will come later, and we often find that this cycle is so important to us on this planet. On page 4 of the supplement, we continue with roll into dark, roll into night, roll into light.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Hey, yom halayla, olel or ifnei choshen, olel or ifnei choshen, v'choshen b'nei or. Hey, dark, night, night becomes day, day turns to night. Dark, night, night becomes day, day turns to night. Hey, yom halayla, olel or ifnei choshen, olel or ifnei choshen, v'choshen b'nei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
On page 152, we continue with Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. A song of freedom, Micha Mocha, was sung by our ancestors after they had completed their walk across the dry land between the waves of the parted Red Sea. Who are those people whose freedom we will secure? Who are those people for whose freedom we are working these days? We too can offer this song of freedom for all those people on page 158, Micha Mocha. All you need for this is just to repeat after me. And as we sing this tune, maybe imagine not necessarily that arrival moment of getting to the other side of the Red Sea, but what it took to get there, just one step after the other. Micha Mocha, Elim Adonai. Adonai Lo.
Adonai Lo.
Leolam Ha'ed.
Leolam Ha'ed. In this world in which there is so much trouble and so much real danger, we offer thanks to God for allowing us to, in most instances, lie down at night and be able to rise on the next day, returning to the world and serving humanity, serving the people, and serving God as well, serving the purposes of the world. And certainly, we ask God to be a shelter, we ask God to be a protector, so that we can indeed rise the next day to do the good things that we can. On page 4 of the supplement, at the bottom of the page, we continue with this offering, this version of Hashkivenu, both in Hebrew and in English.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu, Lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us, guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu, Lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu, Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu, Lechaim, Lechaim, Lechaim,
The tefillah, the prayer, is a prayer that we offer, during which we offer whatever we have in our hearts. Many people obviously use the prayers we find in the prayer book. But because we want us all to be consistent in our offerings, that this introduction even, Adonai Sefatai Tiftach, that on page 164, we want our lips and our mouth and really our whole head to be together and to be honest and to be straightforward in what we say and what we do and what we yearn for in our worship. We invite everyone to rise for these tefillah prayers, again, beginning on page 164.
Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
166.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon,
גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם וזרעת שרה. And we continue now on page 172, the second paragraph from the bottom in Hebrew, and on the transliteration, if you're following that, the third word in on the Hebrew side, kodshenu. Kodshenu, page 172. Again, the third word in on the second line in the second paragraph of Hebrew. Interestingly enough, when the rabbis wrote our liturgy, they wrote a prayer asking that our prayers be acceptable. Because sometimes they may have come to worship with thoughts elsewhere, or minds on business, or minds on other weighty matters. So in a way, they're asking God to, however we come to worship, accept our prayers, because somewhere there is that part of our prayer that is sincere, that is real, even though we may be thinking of some other place in the world where we are. We continue, this is in the supplement on page 5, Ritzeh, this prayer of acceptance of our prayer. Page 5.
2, 3, 4.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Ilatam Be'ahava Tekabel.
Sing it again.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Ilatam Be'ahava Tekabel.
שלום ואהבה תקבל.
On page 178, Shalom Rav, our prayer, our yearning for peace. 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
Our tefillah continues with silent prayer. We'll conclude on page 180 when we get there.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshei tevel. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshei tevel, ve'imeru. Amen.
We continue with the Kiddush for Shabbat on page 123 in the prayer books. Please, everyone join one another as we actually follow the cantor as for Kiddush tonight. Oops.
Fix this.
Yeah.
Sort of. It'll do. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu aharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava u'beratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat l'chaim. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. On the third Friday night of the month, we invite people to share their simchas with us. Maybe you have a simcha that you're observing. It could be that you are observing a birthday in this month of March. It could be that you got a great grade on a test. It could be that something really special is going to or did happen to you during this month. And if you'd like to share with us, we invite you to. And if you are watching online, we invite you to share too. Put it in the comment section in the YouTube place, and then we can share with you as well. But here in our sanctuary, we also have some things to offer you. If you are brave enough to offer yourself for a simcha, we have the famous, I guess now, Beth El bookmark. You all remember what books are. So these are magnetic bookmarks for your pleasure. We have a derech eretz, how do we translate the word derech eretz, we would say? It depends. It's either manners or like good behavior, literally the way of the
way of the land.
The land.
The way of the land. So how people behave toward one another. We have a derech eretz. And we even have some little sticky notes that have the word blessing on it with our little logo, the Temple Blessel blessing pads. So who would like to start? Would anyone like to share a simcha? Let me know. And if you have one, come on up here. It require a little bit of exercise. So come on up here and join us. Patty has one.
It's my birthday and my anniversary.
All right. Well, that means that maybe you and your beloved might want to come and share, or you can each have one, because you're both sharing at least one of those simchas. All right, stay here with us for a second. Someone else would like to come up and offer their simcha this month. Come on up. And if you're first time here, that's good too. But anyway.
My name is Jake. I'm a first timer with my fiance Lauren, and that is our simcha. This is our first time here, and we're very happy to be here.
Awesome.
right.
Awesome. Please take one.
Bookmark.
Take a
I remember
bookmark.
what books are.
And what would you like? Wait, Jake, stay up here. Lauren, you want to come up? Well, you can take one too, since this is your first time here as well. Now that you've been discovered here. All right. Anybody else want to come up and share a simcha? Okay.
Rabbi?
Yes.
We have somebody playing with the band for the first time tonight.
Fantastic. And who might that be?
Lindsay?
Lindsay, this is your first
Well,
time?
Lindsay is one of our song leaders on Sundays, but this is her first time playing with us on a Friday night.
So we'll give her a piece of bling as well. Thank you.
You don't have to navigate your way around
Right.
those.
It's harder to come out from behind the music stands and cables and such. But in honor of these great people who are sharing their simchas with us, we invite you now to offer Shehechianu, because that's an important thing that we do here, thanking God for allowing us to get to this moment.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kivanu v'hegianu azman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kivanu v'hegianu azman hazeh
Amen,
Thank you so much for sharing your simchas with us, everyone. You may be seated. And we think now, too, of those who are not able to be with us, and those we think of who are ill on this night, people who might be in the hospital, God willing, recuperating from surgery and illness, and even those where there are families with terminal illness situations, and we hope that a wholeness will come to their family one day. Right now, their families are in pain. We want to invite you to turn to page 5 in the supplement for a healing prayer that we offer on this night for those that need it, for people who are ill and such. It's we don't know the ways that we operate in the world, of course, and we don't know the ways that God operates in the world, but we do know that when a community such as this one offers prayers of healing for those people who are ill, and they know about it, that adds to their confidence, it adds to their courage, and seems to help. So on page 5, we offer these prayers. If there are people here in the sanctuary who would like to offer a name of someone whom they're thinking about, I'll invite you to do so in just a second. We have about 80 people on our healing list this week, but those people, and it's a little bit too long to offer here, but if there are people here who would like to offer a name of someone whom they're thinking about, we offer you the opportunity to do that now.
May the prayers we say for the ones that... I'm sorry.
names.
I'm sorry.
The names of anybody who needs a prayer.
Sandy Hine.
Group?
The Ukrainian people.
Thank you. At the bottom of page 5, we continue with our healing prayer.
May the prayers we say for the ones that we love fly as birds on the wing to all those we think of. May God carry our healing blessing to those in need. May their burdens be eased, may their pain disappear. Make them healthy and whole, give them nothing to fear. Give them a healing of soul and body. Refuah shlema. Refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, yishlach lanu refuah shlema. Refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, yishlach lanu refuah.
Returning to the prayer book, we continue on page 586 with Aleinu at the top of the page. Page 586, we invite everyone to rise. Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו מורים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we think of the values they teach us. We think of the values that still reside in our hearts. We think of how their values mix with our own, and we are able to be stronger people because of what they bequeathed to us, even though what they continue to bequeath to us, even though they are no longer physically in our lives. These are the people for whom we are saying Kaddish tonight. If you are present tonight in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, we invite you to rise as the name of your loved one is recited, and then you'll be joined by the rest of the community together as we recite the mourner's Kaddish. We have a number of individuals connected to our community who died in the last 30 days. And they are Ellen Koch, the mother of Renee Balkin and grandmother of Ari and Byron Balkin. Bernie Goldstein, a beloved member of this community, husband of Lenora Goldstein. Soretta Kaplan Burke, mother of Phil Barak and grandmother of Ariel Barak and Eitan Barak. Alan R. Berman, stepfather of our Associate Executive Director, Kendra Sager, husband of Martha Miller, grandfather of Caleb Sager. Gerald Oberman, uncle of our Executive Director, Stephanie Kushner, and a beloved member of our community, Nancy Follett, who just passed away 2 days ago, the wife of James Follett. And by the way, her funeral is going to be happening on Monday. You may have seen the email that went out late today. And these are those whose yahrzeit we observe at this time in continuing dedication to their memories. We remember Lois Volk Ackerman, Larry Berkner, Joseph Block, John Bohl, Gertrude Brodke, Kevin Carlin, Bertram Ehrlich, Stephen Fine, Donald Friedel, Mary Gray, Helen Grossberg, Annette Kaplan, Dennis Kodesh, Janet F. Kramer, Rose Krasnick, Gabriel Levin, Harold Levy, Morris Levy, Miriam Lipton, Paul V. Martin, Mo M. Mitzman, Jack Oskin, Robert Ross, Irving Sarnoff, Paula Scar, Morris Schwartz, Maury Schwartz, people know him as, Belle Shapiro, Riva Shklar, Barbara Snow, Sylvia L. Suchman, Arthur J. Sweet, Harry Wiseman, and Jesse Wolf, all of a blessed memory. Now, there may be members of this worship community here tonight who are also remembering loved ones whose names did not appear on the Kaddish list, but if you would like to offer the name of someone whom you are remembering at this time, for whatever reason, we invite you to do so.
David Polk.
Group? Zichronam livracha, may their memories be blessings in our hearts and the hearts and minds of all those who knew and loved them. Testifying to the faith that binds the generations of our people together, we invite everyone now to rise and to turn to page 598 in the Siddur, in the prayer book, and together offer the mourner's Kaddish, again, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, Ve'alma divara chirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishkabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal Shmeid Kudsha Berichu, Le'ela Mikol Bir Chata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechemata, Da'amiran Be'alma V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'Chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Osei Shalom B'Imromav, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel ve'imru. Amen. Please be seated. Our service is about to conclude, and when it does, you're invited to join us in one of two places. You can join us for an in-person Oneg Shabbat in the Frank Adult Lounge, which is out these doors and way down at the other end of the hallway, far to the left.
Right.
Left.
Adult lounge?
Yeah, the adult lounge is down that way.
Yep, and then on the right.
It's on the right, but you have to go down the hallway.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
We're both right. We're both left. I
Both left, yeah.
I can't figure it out. But down that way, you'll find it. Or if you are unable to stay or would prefer not to, please enjoy a cookie from the Oneg to go that I'm told is just outside the sanctuary here in the foyer. I want to thank Rabbi Irv and Vivian Ehrlich, who are our greeters tonight, and especially because they took down names of people who are here and regarding our contact tracing, that if you test positive for COVID-19 within the next 5 days, please contact Stephanie Kushner, our executive director, to let her know, because if we receive information from anyone who's been here that we know about who has tested positive for COVID within that 5-day period, we'll be in touch with you to let you know, anonymously, of course, that someone had tested COVID that you might have been exposed to. The important thing is that we share that information, especially in these days of a little bit uncertainty where we're going. We're hoping we're going in a positive direction, and that's we keep ourselves safe in that way. I sincerely want to thank Les Goldsmith and the Promised Band, who is with us all tonight. Thank you all so very much for being here tonight. We are so glad to have this opportunity to share music. You know, prayer is important and sermons are important, and so is music. And even if you can't sing, even if you think you don't have a voice, you have a neshama, you have a soul, and your soul can be touched by the musical notes that you want to offer.
As quoting one of my favorite books, why else did God give us a beating heart? We all have that.
Amen.
A little bit of music in us.
Amen. And thank you all for being with us tonight. Whether you are here in the sanctuary, you are here online, we are glad that you are here. A few brief announcements. Tomorrow morning, there will be Torah study. After the first 5 books, it is called tomorrow morning's Torah study, and that will be led by Carol Cantor, and that will be online on Zoom. I am told that the Efsharut program that was to happen tomorrow morning is not taking place. So if you planned to be there and didn't get the phone message that it's canceled, it is canceled. That's the Efsharut program. Torah study will take place. Next Friday evening on March 25th will be the Men's Club Shabbat. You know, 2 years ago when we stopped having services here, Men's Club Shabbat was the very last service that we did here, and I believe it was the first service that we were online. It was,
Yes and yes.
it was a live service, but we had one camera. Now we have 3.
What's that camera?
And it was sitting right over in that direction over there. And we had one camera. We thought we were online. It was hard to get online. But now with ease we are online and we are able to be with people, in fact, all over the world we are watching. Relatively easy, thank you. That is correct. So for more information about anything else that we've mentioned here, please check out our website, tbemadison.org. And now we want to come to another nod to Purim, perhaps.
A couple of little nods.
Couple of nods to Purim. So I want to invite you to turn in the supplement to page 6.
In case anyone was wondering why Les is wearing a Stetson.
Yeah, just a note about this song. The person who wrote this song is Rabbi Doug Kotler. And he was here at Temple Bethel a long time ago, probably 25 years. And he sang this song, which he wrote. And as he told us that day, this is the way things really went down in the holiday of Purim. So.
Page 6 on the supplement.
Haman was a mean old man back in the old west. He thought he'd hurt the Jews 'cause he thought he was the best. But he didn't reckon on the guy who would reckon by the name of Mordecai. Mordecai challenged him to a duel. They met on the streets of town. Everyone watched on that fateful day when Mordecai he knocked old Haman down. He had a 6 grogger in his hand. When he was through, there was peace in the land. And his name was Mordecai. Cowboy Purim. Cowboy Purim. Deep fried corn and tashes. Cowboy Purim. Cowboy Purim. Mordecai, he will squash him. Oy vey, oy oy vey, oy oy vey.
And again at the bottom of page 6 on the supplement, we'll return to Utzu Etza Vetufar.
Yeah.
That's how much we remember.
See how much we remember from the very beginning, and I will only say 2 things about this. One is that you may have noticed that it's 2 melodies. One of them is like a more traditional folk tune. The other is much more contemporary. And I just remembered that part of the folk tune is actually in a mode called Ukrainian Dorian. So I didn't do that on purpose, but go figure.
Just worked out that way.
Just worked out that way. All right. We'll sing ourselves out with this Utzu Etza Vetufar. See how much we remember. Utzu Etza Vetufar, Dabru, Dabru, Davar. Utzu Etza Vetufar, Dabru, Dabru, Davar. Oyaro, Inadu.
Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for the Oneg Shabbat.